Welcome to the April 2026 W7PRA meeting. I'm Paul Anzero VLR, chair of the board. And let's start with some introductions. And let's see, on my Hollywood Square left, I have Paul.
Paul, the other Paul from Roseburg, the Southern contingent, W7PEB.
Awesome. And 7QP extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next up is John. You're on mute. Now you're not. Okay, you're good.
John Shod, K7JU here in Eugene, Oregon.
Awesome,
I
John.
still
Thank you.
I still work full time, so there's not much time left to do other stuff.
I do too, sir. I know
Okay.
the feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Professor Shelby, please sign in.
Yep. Mike W7RIS, about 9 miles, 10 miles north of Corvallis. The little house there behind with the lizard on it, that's from the Galapagos Island. That's the furthest outreach of the islands. There's about 5 islands, major islands that make up the Galapagos, a couple other. As a very, very small community out there, very small. And it's really, really hard to find anybody that speaks English. Everybody speaks Spanish there. So it was really challenged there and finally to buy a bottle of wine there. But we finally got it communicated. Anyway, cool place.
Awesome.
I should have been along. I lived in Ecuador for 5 years, but Galapagos, I never made it to Galapagos.
That's just a hop, skip, and a jump out there. Yeah, Ecuador is a great place.
It sure is.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Tyler.
Tyler, WB7DD with Mac and Diana, and 1 mile south of downtown Corvallis.
Awesome. Good to see you, Tyler. And can't wait till the next time where we can all see each other in person. So whenever that is. Let's see, Ron.
Yeah, Ron, AE4JL, up in the big town of Millersburg.
The thriving metropolis. All right.
The
Excellent.
thriving metropolis, 3,000 people almost.
Yeah. Ron, it's been a while since we used to see each other on the daily, so this is like once a month now.
Yep.
Okay. Glenda, please sign in.
Hello, Glenda, KM7BDZ in North Corvallis by the hospital.
Ah, very nice. I just drove by there yesterday. Thank you for joining. Anthony, Artemis 2, sign in, please.
Anthony, KE70SN in Staten, Oregon.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. And you want to say anything about your NASA image of the day? Because that was sort of big news the last week or so.
Well, they had a string of images related to that trip around the moon, and yeah, so that was this shot was one of those of it's actually, if I move my head enough, you can see the crescent of the Earth behind the moon. So this was from the far side, and yeah,
Awesome.
so hopefully we'll get some people on the surface again here in the near future.
Awesome. Excellent. I think that should be a next D expedition for the club. I think we should all go up in a space shuttle and work 2-meter simplex. All right. Okay, Mr. Drew.
Drew Terrell, W3HES, up here in Ocean Park, Washington.
Good to see you, Drew.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, yes, it is. Are you going to make it to 7QP this year? Okay.
No, I'm still fighting health issues, but
Gotcha. All right. Well,
my goal is to get healthy enough to do it next year. I do hope to see everybody at CPAC, though.
okay. All right. Very good, Drew. Yep. Number one, stay healthy. Mr. Larry.
Oh, Larry, AF7NU in Northeast Corvallis.
Awesome. Good to see you, Larry. Ted, sharp and snappy dresser.
Well, good evening, all. This is W7RTM, and I'm about 2 miles from the core of Paloma, the metropolitan area.
Good to see you, Ted. Thank you for your service to the organization. Let's see. Tom.
Well, good evening. I'm Tom Longman. I'm NH7XJ. I just joined within the past couple of weeks. I am right now in Corvallis on Vineyard Mountain, just north of the city. I spend a few days here, about a week every month. Otherwise, I'm in Arlington, Virginia. As my situation changes, I'll probably be spending more time out here. So I thought I'd see what's going on. So
All right.
glad to be here, and we'll see what's happening.
Okay, thanks, Tom, and welcome. And there's a reflector that you can sign up for besides Ham Club Online. It's a Google Groups. Send a note to Mike, W7RIS, at ARRL.net, and he will add you to it if you'd like to join the little, very low volume. I'm going to call it low volume reflector. You're not going to get a ton of emails every day on this. It's just a good community to ask questions, post, I don't know, fun things, ham related or related, etc. And pay attention to some of the upcoming events like Field Day. We have one, and then there's one in coming up for 7QP, but that's a little further out. But anyway, you're welcome to join us there. Thanks for joining.
All right, glad to be here. We'll see what happens out in this part of the world.
Right. Good to. Now let's see the other Tom.
Yeah, howdy. Tom, KK7YZC, about a mile north of Lewisburg, roughly 4 miles north of Corvallis.
Awesome, Tom. It must have went right by your house too. I just met up with Mike the other day, coming home from the north, and I probably drove right by you. I drove by the little Lewisburg market, so I can't imagine being very far from you. So, okay. Let's see who's up next. I got people moved on me here. James.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, you're doing fine.
Perfect. I have been fighting through video settings. I think this might be the second time I've actually used this camera. So this is my first time here.
All right. Welcome, James.
So James Hurd, Liv Malala, KG7KKX. I am just a tiny bit famous for hosting one of the nets that's on the PRA. I do the hospital net that's on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. That's me.
Nice. Thank you, James. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your service in that sector of the community. And I'm glad you're able to use the PRA network. And for those who don't know, if you have any questions about the network, you can reach Chris, AB7BS, and he can be found on w7pra.com. But if it comes to me, I know how to send it to him, so no harm, no foul. But yeah, he's got all the technical updates and the technical answers for why things go the way they do. And James, I know we've talked before, at least emailed anyway. Yeah, if there's any questions about that, so that's just thought I'd throw that out there. Welcome everybody, welcome the new folks. And let's see, I think the only one left is Scott.
Hello, everybody. Those that know me, Scott here, KF7GGN, and those that don't, here I am. Welcome to the club and to the meeting. And I live in Corvallis, and yeah, that's it, I guess, Paul. I'll just go back to you. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thanks for joining, everybody. We got quite a crew. Okay. Any other questions before I get on with some of the other material here? All right, I'd like to thank Mike for yet another beautiful presentation on sharing his knowledge with us, and of course we have all of this posted on our website that Ron posts up there with all the meetings and the recordings, and Anthony will, I think, post this on our YouTube channel as well. Anthony, could you remind everybody which YouTube channel we have so that if they want to subscribe to it?
So if they look up just W7PRA, or Peak Radio Association on YouTube, that will bring us up. And yeah, they can subscribe. There's 2 playlists, one for meetings and one for presentations.
Awesome. And thank you for
There's a link to that on the website too.
Yes. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Anthony. All right. Let's move on. We've got a bunch of different things to cover tonight. And just a heads up, Larry and Glenda, if you have anything to share later as I get down the list here, anything on your STEM program, Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, Larry, I don't be surprised if I call on you to see if you have any news, okay? All right. Let's see, Secretary's report, Mr. Ted.
Good evening, all. I sent the minutes for March, and the ones that you have had a slight edit where I completed the calls, the amateur radio calls for Paul, myself, and Andy as officers.
Okay,
if anybody would like the updated minutes, just send me a note and I will shuttle that off.
All right. Thank you, Ted. Do appreciate your service in this regard and listening to the recordings and capturing all the notes. Thank you very much for that. So, Treasurer's report. Let me pull this up so that I can read it a little easier. Andy is traveling, but he did send the information. So let's see here. Let's do this.
I have it if you wish, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and read it. I'll go ahead and share it on the screen while you read it. That would be fabulous.
So Andy sent us the message, and the checking account is $1,163.13. Savings is $2,489.06 for a total of OSU Credit Union of $3,652.19. There's 81 cents in the square, $158.69 for PayPal, and he has $5.24 in his pocket for petty cash. For a grand total of $3,816.93. And that
Thank
is
you,
all.
Ted. And just a short reminder, the last meeting we had was a little bit lightly attended, but there was a request for Andy to have a backup for treasurer. I've been calcitrant, yes, a big $10 word there, in sending out any emails on that. I know we normally have March and officer voting and all that stuff, and that's on me. I've had a very busy couple of months with work and whatnot, but I will get to it. It'll be a little off skew, a little off schedule, but the intent is there. We would love to have more participants step up and help out with some of the parts of the club that it's not a lot of work to do on a day-to-day basis, but it is, something we ask for monthly, at least. Okay, that's just a little public service announcement. Okay, thank you, Ted. Thank you, Andy, and missing from the meeting here, but Ron, anything on the website?
Got it updated today with the latest YouTube videos. You can, if you don't see them all on YouTube, there's links for them in the website. Again, if you have pictures or anything, send them to me. And with the upcoming trip here in a couple weekends, take some pictures.
Awesome. Thank you. And anybody that has pictures for any POTA activities or any ham radio stuff, you've gone to Dayton maybe, or you got a selfie with, I don't know, one of the astronauts. I mean, whatever works. You want to just send it along to Ron. And I think right on the website, there is a webmaster address. You can send it there. I believe that's true, right, Ron?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Awesome. So as a reminder, especially for the new folks on the call, welcome. Thank you for joining us in our monthly education and roundtable. I just posted on the chat window in your Zoom meeting the best way to find out what the status is on all the repeaters. Chris, AB7BS, not normally available during this time slot, but I do speak on his behalf. He actually is he's actually a neighbor. He lives about, I don't know, I could probably, with a good arm, I could probably throw a baseball through his window. But I don't want to do that. So anyway, he only communicates through a Facebook group. It's very convenient for him as a business owner. And so there is no other up-to-date information available. That's his best form of doing it. People can sign up and then he doesn't have to manage a list. It's self-service. So there's lots of pictures of towers and snow cats going up in the winter and other fun things, any statuses of any interference and other things. So I highly recommend that if you want to know more up-to-date information, check in with that. You can also post to that group as well. So I know, where'd you go? James, I know you, for Hospital Nets, you had some questions. This is a good vehicle for you to either check on something or post something and just notify. That would be a great thing to do.
I appreciate it, Paul, but I've never been able to actually hit that group. It's like I have been, well, and I'm using it as an example, but it almost appears as if I've been blacklisted on that list. I cannot search on it. I cannot go to it directly. Wow. It just isn't there.
That's very strange. If you have Chris's email, just send him a note and say, hey, do you know if there's anything blocking me for any reason? Do you have any suggestions? I don't think that he'll not going to stop and do what he's doing and fix it, but he might know, oh, you've got this turned on, or maybe you don't have your call sign in your name or something. And so they have to keep out spammers. So you might just fall through the cracks. And you can copy me on it if you want to, and we'll try to do that because that's a very informative group. All right. Great. And we already talked about some opportunities for anybody wanting a test. Just before the beginning of the meeting, Glenda was saying she's almost ready to take her general exam. So best of luck to you. And you've got a couple of resources, thanks to Anthony and the one that I posted for ARRL. That's also in the chat window for anybody who wants to take a test. You can use your zip code and go find a local one. I thought I'd throw that in there. Okay. I'm going to skip through that. And again, I've already mentioned about the annual voting and stuff. I do apologize for the delay on that. So I know others have raised their hands and offered some help, and I do appreciate that. I haven't forgotten about you. It's on me. I've been traveling and trying to keep a business together all at the same time. So it's been a challenge. Yeah, so the bottom line is my desire is to have a thriving club with great participation by members where possible. And that includes, maybe setting up an event, maybe having a picnic and saying, hey, who wants to come? I mean, any event that you would like to have, as long as, there's some assistance and some help in doing that. I know in the past we've had a 2-meter simplex contest where we would just go out to different zip codes or even your own home and just do 2-meter simplex, no repeaters. And it's amazing what you can do with just a 2-meter simplex, handheld or base station or antenna in the attic or whatever. I haven't brought it back yet again, but I'd be open to doing that, when things quiet down a little bit. Let's see, because Rick Rial was last. That was 2 months ago, right? That was a past event. I think we already caught that one. I just didn't erase it. Okay. Right. We'll do upcoming stuff. We'll do 7QP in a minute here. Let's go to outreach. Joda. So Eugene Scout Office. Larry, do you have anything to add? Any updates for us on the youth? Oh, you're on mute. Yeah.
We're still, kind of forming things. The club itself is, it's kind of hard to get people together for our meetings. I get maybe 2-3 people showing up, so making progress is slow. We still got our adventure crew almost all formed, but we're still lacking one more person that's not a scout to join the group. And hopefully, I've reached out to Nathan, who does that group in youth group in Albany, to see if there's anyone in that group that might want to, join ours. I just need a Lombardi. Doesn't have to do anything. Just need a name. And so I'm still working on that. Hopefully, we'll have that. I'm still thinking, trying to do something maybe for field day. Haven't quite figured out what might do there. We do have a camping event coming called Rendezvous in mid-May. And last year we did have a station there, so we may set up another station there. That's where we got a lot of scouts interested. So we'll see if that goes. And of course, in October, we do have the Jamboree on the air, which we'll try to do something there.
Awesome. So here's a great way to kind of advertise that. If you know you're going to have like a 2-meter system set up, for instance, during that time, put it out on the reflector, Larry, and then anybody that can be, on the repeater at that time, we can help communicate with the youths that are there. If you have a time period that you'll be on, or roughly like Saturday afternoon or something, we'll do what we can.
Okay.
That way we know about it in advance. We can, turn our radio on and especially if we can have it on in the background or something.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yep. And best of luck with that. I live south of Eugene now, so I'm not exactly in the. I have to fill the tank of gas to go to Albany these days. All right, thanks for doing that with the youth. Let's see, Scott, do you have anything on LC? Anything you want any update on us? I know Scott's got the. For those who don't know, Scott is sort of the facilitator of the ham radio station at the LC library. He's done a lot of great work up there, getting an antenna and a tower and a radio system with a little bit of room and a back room, for those who are just joining us.
Yeah. Hi everybody again. So
I think we lost your audio, Scott. All right, we'll come back to Scott. He's having technical difficulties. We'll go to Glenda, and then we'll come back to you, Scott. Glenda, you've been the chairperson and the point of contact for the Girl Scouts in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Do you have anything to update on us?
Well, their spring weekend camp is the same weekend as 7QP, so that's kind of so I'll have some people out there to have a radio communication setup for the Girl Scouts to kind of get to know a little bit. But Girl Scouts has also asked, I think they're going to plan some like emergency communications weekends for the Girl Scouts, and they were wondering if we could have a radio component with that. So I was going to talk with our group and B Cares about that, to see if they could set up a table or a booth to talk about radio communications. And so I think they're planning maybe 2 emergency weekends next year for Girl Scouts to be familiar with different things. And then I think it was early March, Adams Elementary School asked if I would bring a radio setup to their STEM night at the school there. And I was like, that's a week from now. So I passed for this year, but I'm definitely on their list for next year, and I'll be more prepared. So that will be another thing that if we could get involved with that. I just have my handheld right now, so I don't feel like I have a lot to show off. So I would need help for some good show and tell at these events. So.
Well, I'll say the same thing I mentioned to Larry in a different context, right? If you want to put it out on the reflector in advance, that you've posted this before, so there's no stranger. The sooner we know about something, the more likely you'll be able to get some support.
Yeah.
And we'll certainly do what we can. It's important to get the youth involved. Mike mentioned that as part of Tim Duffy's mission for DX Engineering, and it's very important to him, and it's important to the rest of us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Thanks.
Scott, did you get your microphone fixed? No. No, it's okay. So anyway, Scott's got some folks in LC that are interested in amateur radio and emergency communication. They're in a valley. They lose all kinds of power and cell phones and everything else. They're in kind of a bad spot, so they rely on amateur radio and other forms to be able to communicate. So that was an important component for that neighborhood area. So Scott's continuing in that vein wherever possible. Okay. I'm going to move into, because we're trying to wrap it up here in a little bit, with upcoming events. So, Mike, do you want to give a quick, I don't know, 30,000 foot 7QP overview?
Yep.
And then I can cover the tasty food menu that I have right here in my hand.
Okay. So 7QP, the May 2nd, weekend after next. So if you want to come along with us, Paul needs to know, and also I need to know if you're going to join the group there, so we can make sure that there's plenty of food for everybody. So I will also be. So I just got home this weekend. I've been gone for a week and a half, so I'm way behind on emails. So get ready for a whole flood of email coming at you on stuff going on with 7QP. If you want to get on the email reflector, we have a separate reflector. Let me know, and I'll drop you onto that list there. So that's April 2nd, April 28th through the 3rd for that. We also have CPAC that's right around the corner. So that's June 5th through the 7th. That's our Pacific Northwest ARL sanctioned get together. It's a really important thing to get involved with if you're serious about ham radio. They're still taking reservations, so you can buy your tickets and save you a few bucks. Hope to see you there at CPAC. I'm always a fixture there. Field Day, that's June 27th and 28th. So that's at the last full weekend of June, just before the 4th of July weekend bit. So once we get finished with 7QP, then I'll start my planning on Field Day, and we'll be talking about what we want to try doing there. This will be at the Willamette Park. That's the park that's south of town. And we'll be in the area as you come into the park. It'll be just to the left. It's the old RV park. And we'll be setting up antennas. We've got lots of good trees there. Everybody gets a little frustrated in that, they bring their tennis ball launchers, but they're not quite powerful enough to take and make it over the top of the trees. So somehow I can seem to get enlisted with my tennis ball launcher to make the hoist to get it up into those tall trees. They are pretty tall, and it takes every bit of what I can do with my tennis ball launcher to get the lead line up on top of that. So that's what's coming up right now. Hope everybody hope to see your faces at some of these events.
Thank you, Mike. So I would encourage everybody on the screen and the word as we get it out on the reflectors and whatnot to please come to Field Day. Show up. You don't have to even bring a radio. You can just come in and lend a hand, or even sit down and operate at one of the stations. Many of us are willing to take a break and have you sit down and continue to operate right there at the keyboard. You don't have to be you don't have to have a license for general or extra to operate on the HF bands, because we'll be operating as a club call sign. So as long as there's a control operator, as you know from your earlier testing, controller operator owns the call sign and is responsible for your activities. So that's how we do it. And it's a great way to catch the HF bug. And there's there's always an aha moment when you talk to somebody in a place you've never heard of before, and you're like, "Whoa, I just talked to Spain," right? And so all of that kind of fun stuff. And you get what we call the bug. Um, and it's a good bug. It's not a virus bug. So hope everybody can make it out. There'll be lots of communications on it. The 7QP contest, which is up in like Mike said, in May 2nd. That's a little further out. That takes a little bit more of an investment to get out there and takes more days off to go get there. And it's very austere conditions. There's a pit toilet and no running water. And so we bring our own facilities and other jugs of water, campers, heaters. We set up in the snow camp hut. Thank you. The warming hut. Anthony brings his chainsaw. We cut up timber and we put it in the fireplace, and everybody's warm. And we have a generator to run the power. And Mike brings his tower that you see at field day, and it's just a lot of good camaraderie to go around. So maybe not if you're not interested this year. We typically do it every year, and we've been lucky to have the same place every year because we can know what to expect. So that's great. Does anybody have any questions about any upcoming events or anything that we can answer while we're here on the call? Okay. The last one is any new business or upcoming events or any items of interest. If you happen to want to share anything, like did you make contact with the astronauts or something? Did you happen to hear the ISS on a pass? Did you happen to do anything fun? Did you go out on your first POTA? Did you happen to bump into another ham in the neighborhood? I mean, anything of interest to the hobby, please feel free to chime in. Yes, Paul.
I think I'm giving a presentation at CPAC on 7QP, our expedition.
Nice.
I haven't seen the schedule yet, but it sounds like I will be.
Awesome. That's great. And if you need any material or if you want anybody to take a look at any of the stuff you're putting together, feel free to, we'd be happy to take a look at it and, I don't know, get you in trouble.
I hear you, Scott. I got a lot of stuff from Mike, so I got good background stuff from him.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you'll know if you're on the schedule. Dolvin will send you the template for all your slides to go on to. So that'll have the CPAC trademark on the side of the slide.
Scott, your audio is working.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I see that now. I turn off the video, the audio works. Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I certainly want to thank Mike for his presentation, Anthony for doing for the recording, and all the officers for doing their job to keep us all running, and for the new members, welcome. And for those who are going to be doing any testing, good luck. And please post if you've passed, when you've passed. We know you will. Just send it out to the group. We want to give you some applause.
Well, I've got an item I could add real quick.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Here in the Eugene area, W7PXL started out as an Oregon Duck game halftime net, but now it's also morphed to having every Saturday at noon as just a simplex net at 2 meters, and then we shift over to 440 simplex, and then we shift over to the club repeater to talk about it. So if anyone's in the area at noontime on Saturday, then the simplex or the Oregon Duck halftime net takes place.
Thank you, John. Do you have a frequency for that simplex?
Let me see. Yes, let me check this out here.
And we'll make sure that we get it into the to the meeting notes as well, so that we can share it out.
While
So
John,
hearing? So the
Yeah, go ahead.
halftime net 147.42.
Thank you.
And then when switch over
I'm close enough to hit it, so I will.
Oh, okay. I had my mic up. So that's 147.42. And when you switch over to 440, it's 446.000. And then after that, switching over to the Valley Radio Club computer or repeater, which is 146.72 with, I think, a tone of 100.
All right. Thanks very much, John.
You're
And
welcome.
that's good information for the Eugene area folks,
Yes.
and of which I'm one of them. So
It starts out, usually look for calls from the north, and then calls from the south, then from the east, and then from the west, and then for anyone else that didn't get heard. And also, it's open for relays. If somebody can't be heard but someone else hears them, then they practice relays.
awesome. Thank you.
So Paul,
Anybody else have anything to add? Oh, Mike, go ahead.
Yep, I got one thing to add here. So, this program I talked about, guys, the big guns out there, and in ham radio, you don't need to spend the family's fortune in buying equipment and putting up towers. I've also done programs on some very, very successful people that what we refer to as little guns. And on what you can do with just 100 watts, even with a technician license. I've done programs where a guy has papered his whole ham shack, the inside, on it using a technician license, and the privileges that you have there and all the competitive types of things that you can do out there. So don't feel bad that you don't have a $10,000 radio. As I showed there with Jeff there, he doesn't have all the good modern radios and stuff that we have around. So he's just using good radios, but really good antennas. And a lot of times you can work with just a simple basic radio that doesn't cost a whole lot, or maybe as a hand down, or maybe as a used radio. But if you spend a little extra time putting up a good quality antenna, it can make a big difference in what it paybacks to you.
Yes, absolutely true. Thank you, Mike. Last call for any other news items worthy of the group. Drew's trying to show us his sidekick, but he's on mute.
I was just telling Josie that she could be on the screen, but she's kind of disappearing due to my camera stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody's got a shack warmer. It's beautiful. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and without further ado, close the meeting. Thanks everybody for participating. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your comments. Mike, thanks for the presentation. Hope to see you at Field Day or sometime sooner. And again, if you have any ideas about what you'd like to do with the club, put it out there. So for the new folks, I'll just kind of quickly wrap it up with, let's see, December, January, February, March, April, May. May is 7QP. We do 7QP. Not everybody can make it because of the time constraints and the distance, but it is there. June is Field Day. July and August, a lot of people tend to just kind of disappear, so we try not to schedule too much there. But September, Ron and Scott and myself, we usually take turns somehow creating what we call a picnic and POTA. We'll go out to a park, we'll rent a pavilion, we'll have, shocking, a picnic, and people will bring radios and we'll do a little park on the air activation. If you desire, or we'll just sit around and eat a cheeseburger under a tree, either one. But it's fun. And then December, we usually do a face-to-face meeting with for a holiday party. And we used to meet every month face to face, but the price got really hard, and people kind of got used to the Zoom meeting because people who are farther away can join fairly easily. So that's kind of what we've done. I'm certainly happy to do another event during the year. I just don't know what and where. So any ideas are welcome as long as I get help. All right. Anthony, if you want to go ahead and close off our recording, snip it off, and we'll call it good for another month.